Namaskar. We would like to welcome you all on behalf of Independent Research Ethics Society, AYUSH Samriddhi International Webinar Series at our milestone of 2787. Our previous webinar was 2786 with lucky number of our Muslim contemporary brothers. So, thank you. Thank you for your overwhelming support to inspire me to remove or release my tension with your knowledge, expertise and experience. थैंक यू. आप लोगों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आज हमारे साथ वक्ता के रूप में डॉक्टर सुपर्णा सन्याल मुखर्जी मैडम बोलपुर से, डॉक्टर शैकत कुमार बसु जी अल्बर्टा से, डॉक्टर सतपा वर्धन जी कोलकाता से जुड़ी हुई हैं. और विषय बड़ा कॉमन है जो हम हर आदमी के मन में है, और वो एक ही चीज है, तनाव. और कुछ हो के न हो मन में, पॉजिटिविटी हो के न हो मन में, तनाव आदमी के मन में जरूर रहता है. और उस तनाव को दूर करने के लिए आपका उस समय तनाव पे क्विक कंट्रोल बहुत जरूरी है. ये क्राइम रिपोर्ट के रिसर्च रिपोर्ट कहती है कि जितने मर्डर टाइप के सीवियर क्राइम हुए हैं उतने हॉट टेम्परामेंट में हुए हैं. यदि वो आदमी 10 मिनट रुक जाता, 10 मिनट सोच लेता, मामले की गहराई समझ लेता, तो शायद वो नहीं होता जिसकी वजह से वो जेल में. तो ये बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट बात कही पिछले वेबिनार में हमारे आदरणीय वक्ताओं ने कि देखिए, डिसीजन तुरंत न लें, आप कुछ ठहर जाएं, सोचें और उसके बाद डिसीजन लें. एक राजा शिकार पर गया. शिकार पे पहले बरसों बरसों हो जाया करते थे, रास्ते नहीं मिलते थे. उसने, रानी ने एक बात लिखवा रखी थी कि सोचो, समझो, फिर करो. वो उसकी रानी के बेडरूम में लिखा था. जब 16-17 साल बाद भटकते लौट के आया तो एक जवान लड़का रानी के बिस्तर पर सोया देखा. उसने तलवार निकाली और उसने कही, हाजी इसको खत्म करता हूं. तो मालूम पड़ा उसने जैसे ही नजर गई, सोचो, समझो, फिर करो, तो उसने उठा के पूछना उचित समझा. और उसके बाद मालूम पड़ा कि महाराज, आप जब गए मैं गर्भवती थी, ये आपका ही पुत्र है जो मेरे साथ सो रहा था. अब सोचिए कितना बड़ा अनर्थ उस टेम्परामेंट में हो सकता था, जो केवल एक मोटिवेशनल कोट ने बचा लिया. ऐसे मोटिवेशनल कोट यदि हर एंजाइटी वाले आदमी को, डिप्रेशन वाले आदमी को सही समय पे सही मुंह से मिल जाए. आदमी में सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत यह है कि वो किसी की मानता नहीं. वो आदमी में सबसे सेकंड दिक्कत यह है कि वो अपने आप को हमेशा सही मानता है. जब तक कोई भी आदमी सही मानता रहेगा अपने आप को, कभी भी इंप्रूवमेंट का कोई चांस नहीं हो सकता. इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, व्हाट शुड हैव टू बी करेक्टेड? नथिंग. मैं तो सही हूं. और हर गुस्से वाला, हर एरोगेंट, हर टेंशन वाला ये समझता है कि दुनिया को उसके हिसाब से चलना चाहिए. मात्र तनाव का कारण ये है. यदि वो ये समझ जाए, हम जिंदगी की राह में, जिंदगी की नदी में एक प्रवाह में बहते हुए पत्ते समझ लीजिए, कुछ भी समझ लीजिए, उस तरह से हमको जाना है, वसुधैव कुटुंबकम की भावना में जाना है, तो झगड़े ही नहीं हो. छोटी छोटी बातों पे गोलियां चल जाती हैं. छोटी छोटी बातों पे, कुत्ता काटने की बात पे मर्डर हो जाता है. अरे कुत्ते ने तो पाँव में काटा था, लोगों ने गला काट दिया उसके रिवेंज में. तो ये सब बातें तनाव के कारण उत्पन्न होती हैं. और तनाव का एकमात्र एकमात्र है केवल सुझाव, सलाह, सॉल्यूशन, आप अपने आप को थोड़ा सा काटते जाइए, समाज से, दुनिया से. सबके लिए रहिए. मैं किसको क्या दे सकता हूं? रामवीर जी ने बड़ा अच्छा बताया था, ये मत सोचिए कि मैं क्या ले सकता हूं. लिया तो है ही, तभी हम लोग स्टेब्लिश हो रहे हैं, इतने बड़े खा पी के शरीर बना रहे हैं. इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee Madam for her blessings. Dr. Suparna ji.
Thank you very much. Very good evening to the all dignitaries over here.
दर्शन नहीं हो रहे मैडम,
Thanks for
आपके
giving
दर्शन
me
नहीं हो रहे.
another opportunity on this auspicious platform. Especially today's lifestyle is very stressful. Everywhere is stress. And stress releasing factor is also very difficult because if you can do so many lifestyle
आपका
oriented
वीडियो ऑफ
teaching
है
learning
मैडम.
process.
जी. अच्छा कोई बात नहीं, काइंडली कंटिन्यू.
Basically, okay. Basically, if we can do some live training process, and this, if we are practice our, life sustaining training, then process, then visibility, how we can maintain our stress. There are so many aspects how we control our stress. These are very dangerous, aspects in our life nowadays. In modern times, all people are very busy in their lifestyle. So they have no time for relaxation. They don't have time for the gossiping. They don't have time for any family lifestyle, maintaining the family lifestyle and family situation. But they are very rush in their professional life. This professional life is not giving you any kinds of breathing spaces. But you have to live accordingly, but you have to maintain yourself accordingly. Though we know there is so many process like the if you can go to the doctors, doctor will give you the balanced diet. If you can go to the psychiatrist, they will say you do practice such, you do practice something, but you should not practice something. So there are so many norms and there are so many, guidelines over there, those who are giving you for the breathing process. But at the same time, yoga is also a process by which we can relax our nerve cells, our stress. We can manage our stress. At the same time, the time management is very important because the sleeping, you need the very good sleeping, but where the people is not allow you to sleep, there are so many plentiful sources of oxygenation is absent because we are modernization and civilization has destroyed the oxygenation. We have to recover the oxygenating plants. We have to incorporate these oxygenating plants in our surrounding areas, in the home, in the veranda garden, kitchen garden, so many things. These are the process also. But this is a very quick relieving of the states to practice the deep breathing. Whenever you can go, like the buses, trains, wherever. So if you can practice the deep breathing, oxygenation in your body parts, like the inhaling and exhaling process, it is very good and very scientific for releasing stress. That's the quick action. At the same time, the music therapy, and if you can go and listen to your music, like the what music you are like. So if you can restore on the music, so it will also encourage your oxygenation. And the hormone secretion, like the dopamine hormone secretion, is very good for you to reduce the stresses. At the same way, if you can talk with the persons, those who like, to whom you like, and those who like you, and those who appreciate you, if you can converse with them, it is also the stress releasing factor. But people are nowadays is not good for you. No one is friendly. Or if the friend have such selfishness with you, and the friends would not be helping you because they all have certain types of and certain extent of their selfishness and their personal grievance. That's why they will be behave you not in proper fashion and manner. What you wanting, they may not be allow you to pursue according to your wish. But you have to maintain the friendship. You have to be in the group. You have to be in the your neighbors, your family, your friends. But no one is for you, though it is a reciprocal, though it is a relativeness, but the ultimate spiritualism you have to incur in yourself. At the same way, if we can practice the spiritualism, if we can go to the spiritual life, so there is also pollution. So everywhere is pollution, but we have to maintain our strength without the stress. The stress releasing factor is very important because the stress will day by day gradually will kill you every parts, each and every sensation, each and every parts of your brains, your nerve cells, your neurons, your heart, your stomach, your everything, digestion process, everything will be lost by the stress. So you have to more effective for the releasing of stress. And Ayush is also a very good platform. And Ayush is a very interesting and scientific backbone of us, which can promote the stress releasing factors within yourself and within ourselves, by which we can release stress very oftenly and very scientifically and interestingly. So Ayush is the ultimatum because it Ayush was there, Ayush is there, and Ayush will be there. And we have to release our stress through Ayush because we have come across the one pandemic situation where there is no one, our friend of Ayush was there. So we can say that Ayush is a friend in need and friend indeed. So whoever your friend in need and friend indeed, they are giving you the stress releasing factor by which you can develop your personality, by which you can develop your wisdom, knowledge, and your sustainability. At the same time, the life expands too. So Ayush is our main factor. We can rely upon Ayush for our betterment of life. Thank you very much. Thanks for giving such an opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much, madam. Now I would like to request Dr. Chakat Basuji, Dr. Chakat Kumar Basuji. Welcome. Dr. Chakat Kumar Basuji.
Sharma ji, thank you very much. Shutapa ji is joining. She wants to do it before me because she has to attend another meeting. Give her 1 minute. She's just joining.
Your valuable comments, Dr. Chakat, on Suparnaji.
Suparnaji
Lecture.
has been outstanding and monumental in stress-related management. She has, gone through a repeated number of very seminars and stuff that she has been talking about mental stress. It is a part of our life. Like first, I think we all need to realize and accept that stress and anxiety is a part of our regular life cycle. That everyone has to accept that it is there. No matter however you try to lead your life, some amount of stress and anxiety will always be there, but it is important how we are capable of handling it. One of the greatest challenges Suparnaji has highlighted is that the how you look at stress is the one of the most important thing. Once you accept that this is very true and this is something that is transforming our life, and I we have to prepare ourselves both mentally, psychologically, physically, and emotionally for that. You have won half the battle. The first, I think, is the greatest challenge, as she has highlighted, is that we are not ready to accept or understand that there is stress in our life. This is the first step. Once we realize that there is step in our stresses in our life, we can take appropriate step in figuring out ways to handle it. And few of the challenges that we face in this particular relevance is that 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 we need to understand and respond to it in a very positive manner. For example, those who are going through stress, they need to identify their causes of stress and maybe try out to avoid those steps. So, for example, if you get too excited, getting dragged into arbitration with people over cricket or a religion or politics and things like that, unnecessarily, this is adding stress to your life. One has to avoid these kind of discussions and stuff. And if anywhere there is this discussion, he or she has to practice to pull himself or outself out of that. And just by doing that, not by participating in such engaging discussions which are negative in nature, one can get away from dealing with stress. So, learning where your stress lies and how to get out of it is very, very important in understanding the challenges of handling stress. And the other part that I really believe that helps greatly is definitely, as Madam has highlighted, is spirituality. Those who practice a little bit of spiritualism, sometimes spiritualism does not need to be very highly associated as what you call it, deeply religious, but it could be even non-religious, and at the same time it could be something that is gratifying and protective towards your mind, that helps you in understanding the problems around you and take realistic decision. If we have realistic expectation, I think we can very easily handle or get away unwanted stress. So thank you to Suparna ji for a beautiful deliberation, and that enriched us. And I think we have our Sutpa ji now, a psychologist who has joined our group. Can you see Dr. Sharma? I think she has joined, it seems. Her initial is SB. Sutpa ji, have you been able to join? Hello. Hello, madam. Have you been able to join? Well,
Yes,
if not,
Sukmaji has joined.
okay, okay, okay. Well,
I would like to
she's not.
welcome Shutpa Vardhan ji. Shutpa ji, welcome. देखा जी देखिएगा ना.
समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. I think she's available. But anyways, let me continue. If she's having a little bit of technical issues, I just have sent her a message. But nonetheless, we will, rather than waiting, we will continue the discussion. And as soon as she responds, we'll get into there. Nonetheless, so having realistic expectation in our life is also very important in reducing the level of our stress. Continuing from Suparnaji, like someone wants to become rich overnight, someone wants to have outstanding result overnight, someone wants to have huge goals and success some overnight. This is not possible. This is serendipity. You have to go through a curved linear way, bends and non-bends, and finally you will come to your destination if you have your strong determination. But if you are looking for high goals and big aims in life, you have to prepare yourself for failures too. Failures are a part of life. We only want to see the positive aspect, but not the negative aspect. This is, I think, one of the challenges in dealing with stress. If we understand that there are, say, for example, you are playing some kind of sports, say, for example, cricket. If you are winning 3 matches, there is very high chances that on the end of the third matches, fourth and fifth, you will lose. But to have this positive temperament and to learn and have this sportsman spirit that in spite of one defeated in one, I will keep on pushing through my agenda and I will try and do my level best on the next. And I have this hope that I'll become victorious in the second one, is important for all of us to understand and appreciate and move forward. So, a positive attitude in looking towards life, realistic expectation, being in a happy mode, being associated with family members, friends, and colleagues, and where you feel comfortable sometimes sharing your pains and gains can significantly reduce our stress. I also believe that it is important to have some kind of a hobby where you like reading books or taking photographs or traveling and things like that, or going to a restaurant, whatever it is. If it is a healthy habit, I encourage everyone to engage in those hobbies, whether it is stamp collection, whether it is collection of records or listening to old songs or new songs, whatever, wherever your passion is. Your passion could be in writing. You may love writing. You may love writing poems and things like that. Whatever you feel gives you that kick off, and takes you away from your regular stress and gives you a happy moment of your life is very important. And one needs to investigate inside for those, finding out those factors. Unless you look inside, you will never get to know what are the challenges that you are capable of overcoming. And as soon as you see that you are able to control your emotions and handle your stress better, it will increase your confidence and you will jump into your next challenge more significantly and with much less effort. If you have win two battles over your emotional drag and how you feel stressed and anxiety, if you are able to overcome it, you will see that for the third, fourth, and fifth incident, you have stood victorious. It's because just it boosts to your confidence, it boosts to your mental strength, and helps you glide through the process. So a positive attitude, I think, is one of the best thing to have in dealing with any kind of stress and anxiety, rather than taking long-term medication, going to repeatedly to doctors. And inner reflection, I think, when you have time, sit down and look inside and try and assess and understand what are the challenges and problems you are facing in life, why you are feeling bored, why you are feeling frustrated, why you are feeling depressed, and what you can do to help remove or reduce this. Once this self exercise is conducted, no matter whether you go to a psychiatrist, psychologist, counselor, or a friend or a relative who is trustworthy, and you can share your challenges and problem, you are making their pieces easier by taking the first step. So definitely dealing with mental stress, anxiety, depression, and frustration is not easy, but every one of us at some point or other, or in our everyday life, has to deal or face with it, and face it with a grace, face it with your dignity, and face it with a positive attitude. I'm pretty sure that we will be able to find solutions to the problems that are impacting our life. Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Once again, it has been a pleasure to be a part of this platform and sharing my thoughts and ideas. And dealing with stress and anxiety is one of the most important aspects of our daily life that we look forward in handling and dealing and be successful in reducing and subduing the stress so that we can live better, live happily, and live a fuller life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sekat. I would like to request you to invite with introduction
Uh-huh.
Ms. Tutbaji.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm unable to understand whether Sutpaji has joined. Sutpaji, are you here? Madam, have you been able to join? Let me make a quick call, okay? Just to make
No, no,
sure if
yes,
she.
she joined. She has opened the video.
I'm
Okay,
joined.
okay,
I'm
okay.
joined.
Okay. Thank you. It's a pleasure to have our Sutpa Bardhan ji with us today. She's a psychologist. She's currently pursuing her PhD in neuroscience, dealing with children suffering children suffering from, madam, what is the disease you call it? I completely lost my thought.
I think
Uh,
I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Shutupa
okay.
Bardhan. I
Thank you.
think I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Shutupa Bardhan. I'm very, very delighted to be a part of this meeting and webinar. And sorry I could not join earlier because I was caught up in few other meetings. So I am a mental health consultant, and I have been working with autistic children. So currently, my topic of PhD and research work is around autism, and I'm working in the neuropsychiatric department in the neuroscience of Institute of Neuroscience, Kolkata. So today, the topic of stress is very, very interesting. So stress management is something which cuts across so many dimensions of life. So while I'm a mental health consultant, I think stress management, mental health, these are the key buzzwords that are going on not only in everybody's mind but in the society, in every sphere of life. So when we think of what is the meaning of stress, so stress is something which is happening within our body, physiologically, mentally, emotionally, and it is something whereby our mind and our capacity of endurance crosses. So there can be many definitions of stresses. If we define stress in a scientific physiological manner, we will surely think of stress being something induced as a result of the stress hormone, which is the cortisol, and that is as a result of what we sense when we see our environment. So when there is a threatening thing that happens to us, so there can be two options for us. So one is either a fight or either a flight. So whenever we see something which terrifies us, which brings us stress in the body, so there are the hormones and the pituitary gland which triggers the adrenocortical gland and all these physiological aspects and terms which results, and I'm sure like my earlier speakers must have talked about it. And this is one point of stress. But what is more important, I think, in our context is not what happens from a physiological point of view, but what actually happens from a psychological point of view. So when we think of stress, that actually causes a lot of harm within our body. And when we say harm, that actually impacts all the organ system. So whether it be the neurological system, whether it be the gastro system, whether it be the reproductive system, I think stress impacts us physiologically, and we know like what happens in case of prolonged stress. So stress can be chronic, which is like happening for a very very long time, when people are suffering from major disease, or when people are suffering from lot of trauma. So these are chronic stresses which a person faces for a very long time. There is something which is also called an acute stress. So acute stress is something which happens for a short duration, just like how I saw like I'm just seeing an accident which has happened in front of me. So as long as not able to take care of myself or the person who has faced the accident, I'll be in acute stress. So similarly, when we see that the if suddenly a wild animal comes to me, or I happen to see a snake in front of me, so these stresses which are caused are actually causes of acute stress. Apart from this, I think from a biological point of view, we've been talking enough of stress. The environment also gives us a lot of stresses. So when we say stresses, the classic example of stress I can tell you is when people are under trauma, or when people are under adverse situation. So when I am working with the autistic children, the stress and the anxiety and the depression which finally results into the caregiver's mind happens after so many long duration, when they actually start losing hope that my child, who is an autistic child, or maybe having complexity or not only autism but other associated comorbidities, they start having stress. So stress can result to us in many forms, and sometimes, as we say, stress is avoidable, stress is unavoidable. So sometimes we can work on these stresses, sometimes we may not be able to work on these stresses. So so while we talk more about these stress factors, which are actually called these stressors, so these are terminologies which probably we understand. And similarly, so as we said, that stressors can be internal stressors, stressors can be external stressors. So there are many reasons, or many variety of situations which makes us come into a situation which causes these stressors to happen in our life. Now, in order to take care of these stressors, in order to balance our life and to understand how we need to take care of these stresses, or rather that there are certain things which is unavoidable, so how we will be accepting these in our life is something which we need to handle. I think my previous esteemed speakers have been talking of very valuable ways and means of taking care of stresses. So I will actually categorize them as taking care of stresses from a personal point of view, from a family point of view, from an environmental point of view, as well as from a social point of view. So from a personal point of view, I think when stressors are unavoidable, when we cannot avoid stress, what we can do is maintain a proper, like a life which is disciplined, methodical, hygienic, so that these things do not add to your existing stresses. So certain stresses are unavoidable, like getting up in the morning and getting a bad news, or getting up in the morning or not feeling well, getting up in the morning or having adversities like your driver not coming, your maid not coming, is something which you cannot avoid. But if we have maintain a disciplined life, if we maintain a life by which we can control our actions, we can control the discipline which we can have in our life, surely will ensure that we do not bring in more stresses into our life. The second part is having a very healthy diet. Okay, so having a healthy diet is surely very important, because with different factors of age, like of course, like as we say, like when a child grows up and faces different stress levels, surely a woman or a man who is in his adulthood faces more stress. So it's very important that we take good food, we stay in a healthy environment, so that our health does not add into our uh, as a stressors. So having good food, getting up in the morning, having good discipline, the hygiene factor, all these are very very important in our life. Finally, there are also areas where we can do meditation, where we can do practices of like mindfulness, by which we can if not take care of our stress, but at least try to balance the stress. Because again and again, I must tell you, as a mental health consultant, when I'm talking to so many people of so many age group, and also of variety of relationship, so whether it be a mother or a father or a caregiver or a friend or a teacher, stress is unavoidable. So we really need to understand how to balance them and how to take care of them, or how to avoid them. I think and then of course, like there are other means by which you can take care of your stresses, like be think positive, be in good company, spend more time with your family or friends, or whoever you think will give you that happiness, or uh, keep you diverted. Similarly, there can be situations by which you may also want to have an understanding that if you divert yourself, or if you do things which you feel make keeps you happy, keeps you diverted, so they can also be good diversions which will balance your stresses. Finally, I end this with a note of like interesting thing is stress. While stress is good bad, always bad, so there is something called also a good stress and a bad stress. So what do I mean by a good bad stress? Bad stress is something which we have been talking all this while. And what is meant by a good stress? So as I said, like after the whole day of tiring work, if I actually come into a situation by which I try to paint, or I try to do something for which I have to keep myself awake a big part of the night. So, what is actually happening? I'm not just now, I told you to have a disciplined life, to go off to sleep at early time, get up of sleep. So, what I'm actually doing is once again making my, like making my nights sleepless nights. But honestly speaking, these stresses are sometimes good stresses, which will give you diversions in your life, which will give you the happiness in your life, by which, like if you're painting or if you're doing something productive, you feel happy that yes, I've done something which makes me happy. So these are things which come into our play. And finally, once again, I'm very happy to be a part of this journey today. And let me tell you, like it is very, very important for us to know that stress is unavoidable. We cannot live a life without stress. But what is very, very important is how to face the stress, how to handle stress, how to share your, like stress with the others. And sharing does not mean putting the anxiety and putting the stress on somebody, but having open discussions, and also having that broad mindedness to take these thoughts, and also to, smile with friends, and also take the recommendations and suggestions of friends, is a very very important aspect in one's life. And I believe personally, staying busy, doing a lot of work, an idle brain is, as we always say, is a devil's workshop. I always say an idle brain is also give rise to a lot of stress and lot of negative thinking, which eventually brings a lot of stress in our mind. So with this, I thank Ayush and all the speakers for giving me a chance to talk today. And I really wish we all stay safe, healthy, if not a stress-free life, but a life where we can manage our stress very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Sutpaji. Thank you very much. Now I would like to request Dr. C.P. Sharma sir for concluding remarks. आदरणीय सीपी शर्मा सर हैं क्या? स्वागतम सर.
जी सर. अभी हमारी नेक्स्ट फेज की स्ट्रेस, तनाव मुक्ति से संबंधित स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट के तीनों वेबिनार वक्ता चौकित बसु जी, मैडम मुखर्जी और नेक्स्ट मैडम, जो एक स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट का वेल मैनर्ड ट्रेनिंग ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्राम और एक अच्छे मनोचिकित्सक के परामर्श में हेल्दी डिस्कशन काउंसलिंग के माध्यम से रियलिस्टिक वास्तविक जीवन के तनाव से मुक्ति के लिए सेल्फलेसनेस अर्थात हेल्पिंग नेचर का ध्यान रखते हुए जो भी गाइडलाइंस हमारे वक्ताओं द्वारा प्रस्तुत की गई वो हमारे आयुर्वेद में वर्णित व्यवस्था में मनो इंद्रियों के अनुकूल, मन के अनुकूल और परिस्थिति के अनुकूल, समाज के अनुकूल, व्यवस्था के अनुकूल मैनेजमेंट पर विशेष फोकस किया गया, जहां आयुष समृद्धि के माध्यम से आयुष समृद्धि ने चिंता, शोक, भी धृति अर्थात हमारे शारीरिक मानसिक जिसे हम कह सकते हैं न्यूरोसिस और साइक्रो न्यूरोसिस के मैनेजमेंट में सोशियो मैनेजमेंट पर विशेष फोकस किया। तो ये हमारा सामाजिक और वैयक्तिक दायित्व है कि हम इस तनावपूर्ण परिस्थितियों में तनाव रहित जीवन यापन कैसे कर सकते हैं, जिसमें हम एक हेल्दी डिस्कशन और जो पर्पज है प्रसन्न आत्मेंद्रिय मन, हमारी जो सूक्ष्म अभिव्यक्तियां हैं ज्ञानेंद्रियों की, उन सूक्ष्म अभिव्यक्तियों को प्राकृत रखते हुए उनके कार्यों को प्रकृतितः संपादित करते हुए अपनी सामाजिक, पारिवारिक और पर्सनल लाइफ में अनुकूलता ढूंढें। चाहे वो अनुकूलता हमारे किसी विशेष कंप्रोमाइज से हो, विशेष चिकित्सा से हो, विशेष कंट्रीब्यूशन से हो, वहाँ हम मन, बुद्धि, स्मृति, भक्ति और चेष्टा और आचार के माध्यम से, मतलब गुड कंडक्ट जिसे कहते हैं, हम विषम चेष्टाओं से, विषम क्रियाकलापों से सात्विक वृत्ति के माध्यम से अपने समाज में सामान्य स्वस्थ मानसिक स्वस्थता और शारीरिक स्वस्थता के साथ जीवन यापन करें, ऐसी परिकल्पनाओं की एक गाइडलाइंस तैयार कर आयुष समृद्धि के माध्यम से हम अपने पूरे समाज में रखें, जो निश्चित ही समाज के लिए, व्यक्तियों के लिए उपयोगी सिद्ध हो। ऐसा आयुष समृद्धि के माध्यम से हम एक गाइडलाइंस, एक चार्ट तैयार करें, जिसमें हमें चाहे वो ध्यान की बात आए, चाहे वो योग की बात आए, या हेल्दी डाइट की बात आए, इन सब स्थितियों में, परिस्थितियों में कैसे हम अपना मानसिक और शारीरिक स्वास्थ्य और अपनी इंद्रिय और आत्मा को प्रसन्न रख सकते हैं। जो हमारी अभिव्यक्तियां हैं वो कैसे क्रोध रहित स्वस्थ रहें, अर्थात एक सामान्य जिसे कहते हैं ब्रह्मत्व का अनुभव करते हुए जीवन यापन करें। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ पवन जी, सभी को ढेर सारी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं और सभी को धन्यवाद। और ये जो इस समृद्धि के स्तरीय प्रस्तुतियों के लिए आपके सभी वेबिनार में सहभागी वक्ताओं को धन्यवाद, और विश्वास है कि आगे और अच्छी अच्छी प्रस्तुतियां आती रहेंगी, जिसमें आपका जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है पवन जी, वो निश्चित ही उपयोगी और वैश्विक वसुधैव कुटुंबकम वाली भावना, सभी स्वस्थ हों, पूरा विश्व हमारी सनातनीय सात्विक परंपराओं के माध्यम से सात्विक आहार के द्वारा आनंदित हो, ऐसी कल्पना के साथ, ऐसी सोच के साथ मैं आपको अपना ये प्लेटफॉर्म प्रस्तुत करता हूं। और बहुत बहुत साधुवाद कि आपने इतनी अच्छी बारीक और कहते हैं सूक्ष्म अभिव्यक्तियां प्रस्तुत करवाई। धन्यवाद सर।
बहुत बहुत आभार सर, आपका बहुत बहुत आभार। आप लोग आधार स्तंभ हो तो ये मंच है, मैं तो केवल आप लोगों का सहायक हूँ। मैं आपको सभी को आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। डॉक्टर सीपी शर्मा सर, निशांत शुक्ला जी, डॉक्टर सुलक्षणा जी, सुतपा जी और सुहास देशपांडे जी, सभी को बहुत बहुत आभार। फिर मिलते हैं कल 2 नए सब्जेक्ट के साथ। पहला है, कल इन्फेंट प्रोटेक्शन डे है। टुमारो वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग अवर टॉपिक ऑन इन्फेंट हेल्थ सेफगार्डिंग, एंड देन सेकेंड वेबिनार विल बी ऑन आई डोनेशन मंथ। नेत्रदान महादान अवश्य करें। थैंक यू वेरी मच। गुड नाइट टू ऑल। गुड
ओके,
नाइट।
गुड नाइट।
गुड नाइट सर।